All right. Well, welcome. Um, my name is Sammy Nordland, and I just wanted to introduce you to one of my clients, Kevin. Kevin, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay, yeah, I'm Kevin Hasselbecker. I'm an independent operations consultant, focused primarily on the food industry. Semi-retired. Prior to that, I spent 4.5 decades in various leadership positions in the food industry with a number of different items. And so that's kind of my sweet spot. And work with a number of clients, particularly here in Northern California where I live.
Nice. All right. So let's just rewind back a little bit, Kevin, to before we started working together. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about what your biggest challenges were before we started working together?
Okay, yeah. I think my experience was kind of almost a slow decline that you don't really recognize until one day, um, really, traveling a lot with my work and, eating in restaurants and being out, it's not always the best environment, be taking care of yourself and working long hours. But just kind of over time recognizing that I just don't feel well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not necessarily any particular one thing, but I was really experiencing a lot of fatigue, certainly a lot of gut pains and joint stiffness, and just one day you just kind of recognize and you kind of start putting it all together,
Mhm.
and it's like I'm not well, and I kind of reached that place, and that's kind of what started me on a journey that eventually led, to working with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you feel like? Is there anything that you feel like you had tried to solve those issues, and why do you think that didn't work?
Yeah, well, I mean, I went to the doctor. That's usually, the first place people go. And they did the usual battery of tests, and there's a couple tweaks here and there, but nothing that would necessarily explain how I was feeling.
Mhm.
And a lot of my career has been in the natural and organic food space, so I'm very aware of the impact of food, but maybe was not aware of the impact of my food on me.
Mhm.
So it started me kind of researching, what else is there that I could turn to, and really just by chance, you popped up on my LinkedIn one day, uh, thankfully, and it intrigued me with your background, and so one thing led to another, and we wound up talking and eventually working together because I think traditional medicine was not really going to get me to where I know I needed to be.
Yeah.
And I certainly didn't want to be in a place where, I was eventually going to become dependent upon traditional medicine to keep me going.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that at this point in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a very busy person and you like to lead an active lifestyle. So, you needed to figure out what was going to allow you to continue to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
So what do you feel like was the main catalyst to you finally reaching out to me?
Just really the frustration of the recognition that my doctors were not going to, really get to the root cause.
Mhm.
Um, they offered suggestions that I really felt were going to deal with the symptoms,
Mhm.
but not the real root cause. And uh, to me, that's the most important thing to get to. And um, it also is a realization that even though I can go online and I can do a lot of research, there's a lot of information out there, some of it contradictory, that it's kind of hard to sift through it all.
Mhm.
So I really felt like I needed someone to, um, like yourself, to who's knowledgeable, who perhaps even has experienced a lot of the same things in their own personal journey that could help me kind of sort through, because we're all different, and there are many plans out there and programs, but those are fairly generic because they're out there for the masses, but yet we're all individuals. So I really was seeking someone who could help kind of guide me for what I needed
Yeah.
for me, and not just you know a standard program or app on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Customized approach is so important when it comes to dealing with any inflammatory symptoms at all, because
Yeah.
no one person is alike. So you need a program that's fit for you.
Yeah. And
What do you
you
feel like?
pinpointed that. I was going to say, you pinpointed that very quickly as we talked, and you had me relate. So that gave me a lot of confidence,
Yeah.
going into this.
Yeah. Good. Good. Well, what do you feel like has made the biggest impact in the last 3 months that we've been working together? Um, in
Wow. I
regards to
mean,
just,
it's kind of a holistic approach. It's hard to point to one thing. Certainly changes in my diet.
Mhm.
Once we really understood, the inflammatory responses really that my body was having, and how to target that. Certainly diet was a big factor.
Mhm.
Um, Also, really a regular exercise and structured exercise program,
Mhm.
that I think has been very beneficial to me. I not only feel better, I lost some weight as a function of that, even though that really wasn't the primary objective. So that was really helpful to me to kind of get onto that routine. And we do track during this process, and by nature, I'm kind of a data-driven person, so I love data,
Mhm.
and being more aware to track on a daily basis my progress and my foods, and just what's going on, and that realization and awareness that this program really brought to me.
Yeah.
Because I've done different things over the years, been on
Yeah.
different programs, but I think this is the first time I've experienced something that I feel is a lasting lifestyle
Mm.
shift for me.
Yeah.
Um, and to me, that's critical.
Yeah. No, definitely. I agree completely. It's got to be something that becomes a lifestyle change so that you can maintain the results that you've gotten for life. But, I feel
Yeah.
like, we even were just talking about how, um, you know, foods reacting in your system, how those can, we've taken a lot of stuff out in this program, and
Mhm.
as you start to put things back in, you're more aware of how those things are affecting your system. And I think that's something that is so important for people to understand and realize. And that's one of the things that I like to teach, is just being very aware of how those things are affecting your body, so that you know whether or not it's something that's going to be working for you in the future. So it's been really, really cool to see just the progress that you have made, and just everything, all the benefits that, with all the hard work that you've put in. So proud of you for that. What would you say to somebody who was in the same position as you were before we started working together, back when you were dealing with all those challenges?
I guess I say you don't have to live that way.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like that.
Mhm.
And I think that I mentioned root cause a little bit ago. I think the awareness and understanding that our health is precious, and preventing is a whole lot better than trying to undo damage that's been done.
So true.
And I would really encourage people to seek the advice of a professional such as yourself,
Mm.
who understands this at a very human level,
Mhm.
as well, and has experienced. You're doing this because this kind of grew out of your own personal experience. So I think you're not just a practitioner, you're a participant in
Yeah.
this kind of lifestyle. And, and when I say lifestyle, this isn't like, deprivation. This is just a shift. I mean, I wasn't necessarily eating badly, and
Right.
and a lot of us think about, and we do eat what we believe to be well,
Yeah.
and maybe in general those are healthy foods, but
Mhm.
maybe for our body it's not always the
Right.
right foods to be, in the right diet for us. So getting the advice of someone is really critical, because going it on your own is a little tough to unwind.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you so much for hopping on here with me and just sharing your experience. And I just so proud of you, and it's been great working with you.
Well, I'm really grateful for all that you've done for me. It really has been life changing.
Mm.
And I'm not shy about telling all my friends about it. So uh, anyway, I hope others can watch this and get inspired, and improve their life as well. And thank you, Sammy. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for that.
Okay.